It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It's time for the top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com, brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. Sean's filling in for Christian today. Where do you want to start, Sean?
Number 1, Utah Mammoth getting ready for their first ever playoff game on Sunday.
The late game, 8 p.m. on Sunday night. Going to be a late one.
That's great.
You're not working the game.
No, I'm not.
You have to watch it.
I don't like the late starts are just I don't know. This is me getting old, but I like it to fit right in my day.
Sure.
You know why the NFL is so great? It fits right there in the middle of your Sunday. You know what I mean?
Yep. Even the late game starts at 5:30 on Sundays.
Whatever it is.
Whatever the NBC game is.
But it's fine. No, it's very exciting. The Mammoth will have plenty of time to drive in from Cedar City because that's where I said I would make them stay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let them stay in Vegas. No. At very least, put them in Henderson, right?
Yeah, nowhere exciting. Nowhere fun. Nothing luxurious.
Welcome to Summerlin.
That's not how Ryan operates, though. He's going to have them living large.
You think? Do we know where they're staying?
I'm sure they're staying at whatever the amazing hotels are on the Strip. Yeah.
The Holiday Inn Express?
If that's where you want to go, on the old Strip. What's the one you like?
Oh, in Fremont Street? Oh, I'm a Golden Nugget guy.
Yeah.
There's some other really nice ones over there. The one they had the Mountain West Conference Media Days at, the new one on Fremont Street,
they've improved it.
Is super nice. Yeah, the one with the I think that's the one with the giant TV by the pool. You've probably seen the videos online.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
8 p.m. on the road at Vegas. Yes, the first ever hockey or playoff game, I should say, for the Utah Mammoth, and very exciting. And I'm really excited to see how these series play out and where you start to see the differences. A lot of them it comes down to obviously goaltending. Coaching will be a big part of this. Tortorella in Vegas is very experienced, and this is pretty brand new for Coach Bear, so we'll see how that handles. But then you get further down the lines, the third line, the fourth line on offense really starts to be a difference maker because these top 2 lines probably start to eliminate one another, in my understanding of how these top 6 pairings work.
Everybody's selling the Tortorella thing, and yeah, I've heard of the guy. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. And Vegas played very well to close the season, but that can't be an advantage. Having a coach for 2 weeks, going into a playoff series, that wasn't an advantage for Denver last year in the NBA.
Agreed.
It wasn't an advantage for Memphis, whatever it was 2 years ago. There's no way.
We did see Jerry Sloan dance circles around Adrian Dantley when Adrian Dantley had to take over for George Karl. Now, Adrian Dantley was brand new, hadn't coached basically at all ever as a head coach, and obviously Coach Bear has been a head coach for 5 seasons now, so he has seen plenty on the ice.
Yeah, but Tortorella's the Adrian Dantley.
He is a little bit the Adrian Dantley.
He's the new guy. He's the only one who's coached. He's coached the team for 2 weeks. I don't see how that could possibly be an advantage.
Now, I would also flip this. And not flip it, but to look at what Tortorella has done, where they are 7-0-1 since he took over. They beat Vancouver, who's not a playoff team, Calgary, who's not a playoff team, Edmonton, who is a playoff team, Vancouver, again, not a playoff team, lost to Seattle, not a playoff team, did beat Colorado, certainly their best win, beat Winnipeg, not a playoff team, and beat Seattle, not a playoff team. So they played Colorado and Edmonton in their final 8 games. Only 2 of those teams are playoff teams. And they did win both of them on the road, so that's a feather in his cap. But it's, to use a word you really like, is a pretty squishy schedule. It's pretty soft.
Yeah.
So they went in to the end of the season playing well, but beating up on a bunch of really bad teams.
If it were an advantage to fire your coach 2 weeks before the playoffs, we'd see
a lot of teams would do it.
A lot of teams would do it. Hey, you're a good, not great team, but you're going to make the playoffs? Well, can your coach 2 weeks before it starts?
Yeah.
And hire somebody new, a real fire breather. And, I don't know. I buy into sometimes you need a new voice in the room. That is absolutely a thing. But I still don't think it can be an advantage. The guy's only been on the job for 2 weeks.
They might be a little bit, and again, this is not a perfect comparison, but if we're talking NBA, it might be a little bit Los Angeles Clippers-y, where they have some really elite talent. Jack Eichel is great. Mitch Marner's great. The locker room apparently didn't get along at all. And then you get rid of Chris Paul, and all of a sudden everyone plays really well for a couple of weeks. But the Clippers are not in the playoffs today just because they got rid of Chris Paul. It doesn't actually fix all of your issues. It might be a Band-Aid on the wound, but it's not going to solve the wound that might be something greater. So we will see, and we'll see if you can start to pick that apart. And where there was a team that at one point in the season clearly did not trust each other, again, it seems like that was the issue within the locker room. It was pretty divided. If you win in Vegas as the Utah Mammoth, you can start to kind of expose some of those issues again.
He should have them at the Excalibur.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the pyramid?
No, that's the castle.
Oh, okay. What's the pyramid?
The Luxor.
The Luxor. Okay.
No, I'd go with the wait, I just lost it. What's it called? I should know. I just said it.
Excalibur.
The Excalibur, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like kitty corner from T-Mobile. It's like right down the road.
Okay.
You could walk there.
Yeah. All right.
You go to the show, although I wouldn't advise eating the food at the show.
You don't think the medieval show?
That wasn't
where
great.
they just eat the horse that died?
What are you talking about, eating a horse?
Wasn't you're talking about the medieval show? Don't they do like the old medieval?
Yeah.
Like,
I've been to
jousting
it.
and
They
stuff?
don't. No horses die.
Oh, some horses die.
No.
Some horses gotta die.
No.
The medieval show. No
Yeah,
horses
no,
die?
no.
What are you paying for?
Certainly not the food. Food was rough. My kids, Sadie, this was it had to be 3 years ago, and she still remember. She was probably 5 or 6. The thing that she remembers the most about that trip, not the show, but the bad food at the show.
She didn't like the show.
No, she didn't like the food.
Oh, the food. Yeah, the kids like everything.
She doesn't like. She doesn't go.
Chicken
Oh,
fingers or
that was a
something."
cool show, and they did a joust. She goes, "Oh, remember how bad the food was."
That's a bad sign for a kid. Because kids will eat. Like your
Anything.
kid's favorite meal is
Yeah.
macaroni and cheese.
And that one's supposed to be fun because you're supposed to eat with your hands because it's like Old English or whatever. So you're like,
You're telling me no horses die in this show?
not one.
Okay.
I'm sorry to disappoint you. I didn't know you were such an animal masochist.
We're going to a
You could
medieval show.
probably find a bullfight somewhere.
Yeah.
Horses didn't die in the medieval jousts either.
You don't think one night was ever like, oops?
I don't know, Ben. I wasn't there, but that's not like the.
What do they call that thing?
That's not the
What do they
point
call
of
your
the
big-
activity.
Your big pole? You don't think one ever was like, oh, poked your horse in the eye and you fell off and broke your legs in half? Because your horse is hurt.
What's next?
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
Just talking strategy here.
Number 2, the NBA play-in tournament wraps up tonight.
Hornets at the Magic, Warriors at the Suns. Would you call this a must-win for any team?
Yes, I would.
By definition, a
Yes.
must-win. If you want your season to continue. However, I almost wonder if this is a must-lose for the Magic. Just get this over with. Get Jamal Mosley out of there
Get out.
and start over. Hit the reset button, whatever you're going to do.
Well, hey, if I'm Paolo, though, I'm watching myself around old LaMelo. I'm watching myself. He's going to take me out for next season.
Bam was not happy that LaMelo only got fined. I think it was $30,000 and $60,000 total.
Honestly, I would be bothered if I were him too.
Well, what do you think? I mean, you make the playoffs, you get a bonus. You get money just for making the playoffs. Every player does. You get a little bit of extra cash in your pocket
For every round you play.
for every round you play. You may have honestly taken that much out of Bam's pocket. Bam might be losing more money than Melo by Melo sweeping his leg to get to the first round of the playoffs. And they are going to be favored tonight over the Magic. And then Warriors Suns, we'll see if...
This is why I believe in corporal punishment.
Okay.
Because if something bad happened to LaMelo, Bam would be fine with it. Like after Zaza slid under Kawhi,
Sure.
he should have been flogged or something, and then everybody would have felt better about it.
Sure.
A fine? What?
Doesn't bother him.
It doesn't bother anybody.
Right.
Barely makes a headline.
Right. He's paying that in car accident fees
But
every
if he
week
had
anyways.
to stand in front of a group of people and
Have tomatoes thrown at him.
or something,
Yeah.
everybody comes away more satisfied. And frankly, LaMelo should probably, for his own internal development, go through some shame.
Let's mix up our first two stories. He has to do some type of jousting.
I'm fine with
Some
that.
public
Whatever.
Jousting. Yeah.
We can go back to medieval times for all sorts of remedies.
Anyways, 5:30
Put him in the
tonight
iron lung.
on Prime. Hornets at Magic. Though the Hornets are favored in this game. Phoenix favored against the Warriors. I don't know if I feel that same way. I think the Warriors can certainly win this game. I know the Warriors have not been playing great. The difference, though, in that first game with the Warriors was they did get Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis back and both playing. And those are two really good shooters who just space the perimeter. And then, of course, Steph's the greatest shooter of all time. You do that against some dumb teams, and the Suns are a dumb team. They just have some dumb players. And they have some good players, but I don't think they're all that intelligent. The Warriors' high IQ across, whether it's Draymond, Steph, Kristaps, and certainly Al Horford, they should be able to pick them apart.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. In fact, the actual games that matter is tomorrow. We actually have playoff games. Raptors on the road at the Cavaliers. That's the 11 a.m. game. On all these first three games are on Prime. 1:30, the best game of the weekend, I think, by far. Timberwolves at Nuggets. Your Hawks on against my Knicks coming up at 4 o'clock. And then the evening game. Again, we said this was going to be the case, the ABC game, because they love star power, and rightfully so. It draws eyeballs. But Rockets-Lakers is probably the worst playoff round or matchup that we have in the first round, and it's going to be all over your TV.
I think the Hawks beat the Knicks in the first round.
Okay. That would be big. That'd be huge for your guy Quinn Snyder.
Well, they actually guard
or
now.
Q, as you like to call him.
I never call him that. I always call him Coach Snyder.
Hi, Q.
Hi, Q. Hey, Q. All right, what's next?
Number 3, the Jazz may have started a trend.
Explain. I don't know what you're talking about.
Old Frederick Carlton Katz, who reports for The Athletic, is reporting that the Cleveland Cavaliers are expected to explore trading Donovan Mitchell this summer if he doesn't agree to a contract extension.
That's the right move. If Donovan doesn't think he's going to be there very long, and that could be the case. If the Cavaliers don't make it past the second round of the playoffs, I do think they are tapped out. There is no more desperate Hail Mary final move historically than trading for James Harden. That's about it, right? The Nets did it, didn't work. Sixers did it, didn't work. Clippers did it, didn't work. Now the Cavs are trying to do it. It's the ultimate, ace up my sleeve, James Harden.
This is all we got.
It never works. And they tried that. So let's see, I guess, what happens. They probably get out of the first round of the playoffs. They're better than Toronto. If it goes more than 5 games, it's a disappointment. And then I think they're going to lose in the second round because they're going to run up against the much tougher Detroit Pistons. And I think Detroit's going to beat them somewhat soundly. And then you're going to have to start wondering, where do you get better? How do you improve? And does Donovan actually think there's a route to get there?
It is crazy how history repeats itself. I mean, his Cleveland experience and his Utah experience, extremely
Very
similar.
similar. Yep.
I mean, a honeymoon period where the sky's the limit and it's all roses and sunshine. And then it's not because there's a limit to how far that can take you.
If
and
he's
then
your best player.
All of a sudden, you're kind of planning everything around that guy and you can't move off of it and he can't win you games in the fourth quarter because he's not good enough. And then he's kind of like, oh, maybe I'll leave. So he holds your feet to the fire. And then the decision becomes kind of easy, okay, well, I guess
You got to move.
we got to move.
And you know what? The funny thing is, if you have Evan Mobley, who's a very good player, Jared Allen's okay. He's a pretty decent player. You've got some okay pieces around him. You can trade Donovan, get stuff back, and probably be just as good. And the truth is, the Jazz probably could have been close to as good had they moved Donovan and gotten talent back and just tried to win right away. They would have taken a step back, don't get me wrong, but if your cap is the second round of the playoffs, what does it really matter? And right now, I think the Cavs are running into another year where their cap is the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm telling you, history repeats itself. Yeah. Donovan needs to be the second or third, maybe, best player on a contending team if he ever wants to get a title. And I don't think his brain/ego works that way.
There is something. Again, I remember the day the Jazz traded Donovan Mitchell. I looked at the Cavs roster and I said, man, they are really betting on Evan Mobley becoming the best player, becoming Anthony Davis. Because if you had to prime Anthony Davis and Donovan Mitchell, you probably can compete for a title. But if Evan Mobley doesn't turn into Anthony Davis, you're limited. And Donovan Mitchell maybe doesn't let you turn into Anthony Davis because he is so ball dominant.
They should trade him to the Knicks for the Sphere.
We get property.
The Sphere. Old Dan Gilbert gets the
is
Sphere.
there a nickname, player nickname? Is that what they're calling OG Anunoby now because he's a little round?
The Sphere?
The Sphere? No. James Dolan's Vegas property.
Yeah, no, the venue.
Okay.
Even though it's losing money, it's still really cool. And I can't imagine the CIA, I'm sure, is jealous of the surveillance equipment.
If they have an ugly exit and Donovan doesn't play well, though he generally plays very well in the playoffs, I do think you'll hear his name in some trade rumors.
Well, his numbers are good in the playoffs. I don't know if you want to say plays really well in the playoffs, frankly.
Sure. His numbers are really good in the playoffs.
I mean, he had historic numbers against Denver in the bubble. What did that get everybody?
7 games. It's a loss. 4 straight losses to close it.
His numbers look good, though.
Not 4 straight losses.
Allows players to come into the locker room and said, hey, it's your clown's fault. I had 40.
Well, see what happens.
Stay tuned. We'll have more Jake and Ben coming up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.